Have you ever wondered why people are so enamored with the daylilies? Is it their color? Is it their height? Or maybe they're just a little bit maintenance free? And I'm ready to find out what the answer to those questions are. The thing that drew me to this daylily is its color. Hi, Nicole from Bluebird Springs Farm. It's a wonderful day to be here, and I love this color of this one because it's not spotted. Sometimes they will spot, won't they?
They will, especially if there's been any rain or water dew in the morning, but this one held up really nice even though we had some rain last night. So.
Well, your selections of flower, the height, and the colors, everything is marvelous in this area that we're in. And I can't help but be drawn next to that color.
It's very bold, isn't it?
It is.
This is called Primal Scream. It's a really popular daylily, but
yes, it is.
You may notice it's a lot shorter than what most people see in the garden because the winter we had this year really did a number on a lot of our plants, and so they're blooming shorter than they normally would, and so a lot of them are much shorter than usual this year.
And as I recall, I don't remember having a season like this in a while. Have you?
No, this is pretty unique. I don't remember it being quite this bad. I mean, they're still blooming, they're still beautiful, and the plants survive. That's the beauty of daylilies. They'll take about everything, but they may not be at their best this year because of that odd freeze warm cycle we had.
I love this one now.
It's beautiful.
What about the edging on this?
It actually has two edges. It has the dark purple edging, and then it has it's called a wire edge, that yellow. I don't even know if you can see that, but
yes, like
very,
right here.
very thin yellow edge on the very edge of it. So it's one of my favorites. I love this one.
This one is just glorious. What is this?
This is called Gigantic Ray of Sunshine by Sandy Holmes out of Ohio. Normally it would be much, much tall. It's pretty tall now, but it would normally be much taller. And you'll notice that it's got ants on it.
Yes.
And that's usually a sign that it's a fragrant daylily.
Oh.
And you can usually tell which ones are fragrant because they'll have more bugs on them, and especially ants.
I found that I have some of the older specimens and they are fragrant. So does a hybridizer have that in mind? Do they want to do some that are fragrant, or?
There are some people who look for that quality, but I would say it's pretty low on the things that most people are looking for. I think it's a lucky thing if you get it, but it's not really what most people are really looking for. They're looking for the beautiful blooms or the special shape of the petals or something like that.
Okay, I see ants on this one.
Yes, so it might have a little bit of fragrance to it.
Oh, it might depend on whether or not they're nocturnal or as far as fragrance goes.
I've never noticed a difference between whether they're, fragrance relating to nocturnal or not. I've never really even thought about that. This is a spider type of daylily, and it's called Titanic Tower. Goodness. And I like it for the colors, but also because it's so tall, and it just really stands out in the garden.
And a good year, would the scape be this tall?
A little bit taller, yep. This one, this one's usually about this height.
And it does give you vertical in your other perennial borders.
It really
doesn't it?
does, yes.
Okay.
Not many perennials are that tall in your garden, so.
Well, Nicole, not only do I like the color, but I like the name.
Yes, this is Angels Bow Down by Carol Emmerich. She has a lot of religious themes to her names, so you'll see that often in hers. But she has beautiful daylilies, and she does a lot with purple. So I really like her daylilies.
Well, and I also think that the Queen Anne's lace, this just gives this such a beauty that you just can't reproduce that with this, can
I
you?
like them mixed in with all the other flowers. So everything in this bed is supposed to be purple and orange.
Well, Nicole, I really enjoy your usage of your daylilies. Now, daylilies can bloom early, mid, and late. So how do you choose yours?
Well, I do like to have a variety so that I can have plants that start blooming in early May and go all the way through our first freeze in October. So I try and buy daylilies based on the season that I don't already have daylilies blooming in. So I look for things that are like very late. They usually say on their registration what season they're intended for. So early, mid, or late, there's, you can buy according to what season they should bloom. Early here in Tennessee is mid to late May. And then mid is usually right around middle of June right now. And then late can go all the way into August or September.
Tell me about your experience with rebloomers.
Well, I do always look for rebloomers when possible because that just, gives you an extension on your bloom time. There's different types of rebloomers. We can have some that will immediately rebloom. So while you have flowers on the plant now, you'll see brand new scapes coming up. And so as soon as that first flush of blooms dies, you're going to have a rebloom on that plant. And then there's others that will rebloom months later. So you could have it blooming in June and then again in September, maybe even October. But the number one way to get rebloom on your daylilies is to give them enough water. They love water, and especially during those hot summer months, if you want them to rebloom in the early fall, they need water. And if they've set seed, it's best to cut that off. If your goal is reblooming, it's best to cut those off. If your goal is hybridizing, of course, you would keep the seed. But that does make the plant kind of go into seed building mode instead of blooming mode. And so it would slow down a rebloom if you have seed pods on your daylily.
When I think about a reblooming daylily, my experience was with Stella Dior's.
Yes.
But I really never had that success, and they do send up a new flush of bloomscapes, right?
They do. So they do tend to set seed very easily. So you'll see the little seed heads on there. I don't think I have any to show you right now, but so those need to be cut off.
That's probably
that would
my
encourage
issue.
rebloom, and then they need more water.
Okay.
A lot more water, probably.
Well, everything you have here is so delicious to the eye, but I think you have some very small ones.
I do.
That I would like to see.
Okay.
Well, Nicole, if I had just a small little patio with a container, that would be perfect.
It would, yes.
What is the name of that?
That's Little Lemon Twist. Normally it's a little taller, but the flower is about the right size. But yes, we have a collection of minis and smalls in this area.
And they must not bloom quite as early. And then, even though it's in the yellow family, this is a small, sweet little thing.
Yes, this one's adorable. It's called Dash Dash.
What is the smallest one you've ever seen?
I've seen one that's smaller than this, just a little bigger than a thumb. That's pretty small. This one's
Bigger a thumb. Well, that's amazing. There is a National Daylily Convention in Nashville right now. I understand the hybridizers sent you plants, and they're coming to see you, and you have them on display for them. Let's look at the guest bed.
All right. So this double is called Aliens on Bourbon. It's by Donald Wolfe. He's out of Kentucky. I do like to have plants in my garden that have been hybridized by somebody kind of nearby because it's used to our area.
What about the form on this one?
Well, it's a double. I don't know exactly how it's registered. We've got some twisting of the sepals back here. Sometimes they'll register it that way and sometimes they don't. Sometimes it just opens that way. But I imagine this is registered just as a double.
Okay. So how about that one?
This is called Electrifying Ripples by Kirsten Hatfield out of Ohio. And you can see it's got all this patterning in it, which it depends on the weather, but on this nice, cool, cloudy day, you really get to see all that patterning. So that one's really showing off today.
Yeah, that one is definitely comes to greet you, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and I do, I've seen pictures of these, but until you see it in person, you don't understand that rippling and that's in the throat and on the eye of that one. Well, lead us on. Another hybridizer is?
This is Subhana Ansari out of California. That is called Infinitely Interrelated.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting name.
Yes, she has interesting names and beautiful patterning on that daylily.
Gosh, I just can't imagine walking through daylilies and down the road in my head, I think I could take pollen from that one and mix it with that one, and then I'll come out with this one.
That's how we all get sucked into hybridizing.
Oh, no, I didn't just say that. Okay, now, Nicole, tell us a little bit about the American Daylily Society.
Well, it's a national group that is made up of smaller clubs, usually local clubs, like we have a Middle Tennessee club here. And once a year they meet and have a convention, and they establish all the standards for different types of daylilies and how to name them, register them if you're a hybridizer,
Okay, so it's a lot of business then, isn't it?
There is some business to it, yep.
I think I like this one
That's
now.
a beautiful little double.
Who is this?
This is Double Discovery by Williams. It's very pretty.
Oh, and it's got a little longevity to it because it was hybridized in 2012, or registered.
It registered in 2012.
In 2012. Okay. Now then, I, as in my own garden, know that there are spider daylilies. So, you think this could be a spider?
I believe it is, but I'm not positive. In order to be registered as a spider daylily, the petal length has to have a ratio of 1 to 4. 4 inches long to 1 inch wide. I believe this would qualify, but without seeing the registration details, I can't be sure.
Yes, and I like the name.
Yes, Frog's Hair.
Frog's Hair.
Fine as Frog's Hair.
Fine as Frog's Hair.
That's Jim Murphy out of Virginia.
And you know, we can't judge it according to, we already know. Today it's not going to be like it will be next year or what it was last year.
Right. So this plant has only been in this place for 2 years, I think. So as they become more established, sometimes they start to really come into their own, like year 3.
Yes.
And behave better, which is why people sent these plants quite a long time ago, so they would be well established.
So how far in advance did you know this national convention was going to be?
Well, we
here?
knew 2 years. Usually it's 3
Okay.
years, but we knew 2 years.
And as I stroll relaxing with you, I do know you happen to be a chairman.
I am.
Oh my.
Yeah, co-chair of the national convention.
I'm sort of partial to this one for more than one reason.
I am too. This one is one of my introductions. It's called With the Help of Friends. I just registered it this year. And I love it for a lot of reasons. I love the color, I love the height. I think it's really bold and it stands, I guess I like things that stand out in the garden, and I felt like this really did.
Well, Nicole, as I stand here with you admiring the work of your hands,
Thank you.
I want to thank you because I know you're a busy lady this week.
Well, thank you for coming.
And these are time-sensitive flowers, aren't they?
They really are.
We needed to get to you this week so that we could see what you have here, and you definitely know what you're doing and have. And I'm looking forward to seeing more introductions by you.
Oh, thank you.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.